This is a lecture from Open Tuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
So, pets, a lifetime transfer, individual to individual. And as I said, it's exempt from tax potentially, and there is no tax at the time. Remember the length of time? You've got to live for how many years? 7. 7 years for it to become exempt. If you die within that period, then it becomes chargeable. Within 7 years. Okay. CLT is a transfer into a trust, and that's how it will look. So there is an immediate charge to tax. If the donor dies within 7 years of making the gift, the CLT remains chargeable on the death of that individual. It'll be payable at 40% on the value of the gift, less any nil rate bands and lifetime tax paid. Now, if the taxpayer survived at least 3 years from the date of the gift, any IHT is reduced by what's known as taper relief, which we will look at in a moment. And the IHT payable at that time, because the donor has died, the donee, i.e. the trust, will have to pay that tax. If they survive more than 7 years from making the gift, the CLT becomes fully exempt. But, there is a big but. It might still have an effect on the amount of IHT that is payable. So how do we calculate IHT? Now, I've broken the rules down into 3 stages. And you need to work through these stages methodically and logically. So stage 1 is any tax on lifetime gifts, just like the illustration that we've just looked at. How would we then go on to tax it? So first things first, identify, is it a pet, a CLT, or is it exempt, as we did in the illustration. And clearly show, I want you to state the obvious, what is it? Because every time you do that, you're going to get half a mark. IHT, this is the first time that it's tested. It is important that you simply state the obvious. There are lots of marks to be had for that. Now, then you check any lifetime exemptions and apply the relevant annual exemptions. Calculate the amount of the nil rate band available, which we'll look at in a moment, and then work out the tax. And the tax is only on the CLTs at this stage. Stage 2. There may be additional tax on these lifetime gifts as a result of the death of the donor. And then we will have to recalculate. Now, in an exam, this takes time, this takes time. If you have to do both, there will be 1 or 2 gifts in lifetime, one of which is a pet, which means you only have to do probably 1 of those gifts again. Or the lifetime tax may be on pets, therefore you still have to do that and that, but there's no tax to pay, but there is as a result of the death. You will never get a whole list of things that are pets and CLTs where you've got to do a lot of work and then they die and you've got to do a lot of work again. The examples do that, but in an exam question they won't, because it'll take too much time. Now, stage 3 is what's known as the death estate. So you've worked out all the lifetime tax during their lifetime and the result of that as a result of death. And then separate from that, because those two are linked, is the death estate, where you list all the assets of the estate at the time of death and then work out any exemptions and work out the tax. Now, if you have to do a death estate, if it's a small death estate, you'll find there are lifetime gifts. If it's a large death estate with lots of calculations in it, it'll probably only be one lifetime gift, probably a pet, whereby there's no tax at the time and it's covered by the nil rate band. You will never have to do 1, 2 and 3 in depth in the same exam. Okay. However, all 3 stages are vital that you understand and deal with them. Once IHT clicks, it's actually the easiest of all of them because the pro forma never changes. So let's have a look at that IHT computation. We have had a brief look at it in the previous illustration. The value of the estate before and the value of the estate afterwards. This is diminution. The loss to the donor principal. Sometimes you're going to have to do that. It's unlikely. You will probably be given a list of these transfers. Then you remove any specific exemptions. Small gift, £250. Husbands to wives, civil partners, exempt. Then you do the marriage exemption, £5,000 for the parents or the bride and the groom, £2,500 for the grandparents, and then the £1,000 for the nephew or the niece. And then the annual exemption, current year and or brought forward in that order, which gives you the chargeable amount, and then obviously you will pay the tax on that. Now you've heard me mention the nil rate band. The nil rate band is the amount that could be gifted without incurring any IHT. The nil rate band in the year of the gift is the one that should be used. If you're doing lifetime gifts, you need to stand in that year. Now currently it's £325,000 that will be given to you in the rates. If you need one for a previous tax year, it has been that for a long time now, because if they keep it at that rate and don't increase it with inflation, then they collect more tax. If you do need one for a previous year prior to the change, then they will give that to you in the exam. Now, it's not lifetime. It's not annual. It's a moving feast, unfortunately, but I will show that to you as we're going through. It's quite easy to understand once you kind of click, and hopefully my explanations and examples will help you. Now, the nil rate band must be reduced by gross chargeable transfers made in the previous 7 years. Okay, during the lifetime, CGT is only CLTs, obviously not pets. These are the rates of tax. That's the death rate. That's the lifetime rate. Now, that does depend on who's paying it. If the trustees are paying it, the donee, the person receiving the gift, then they pay tax at 20%. If the donor pays the tax, then that's 25%, because their estate has gone down by the gift. It's also gone down by the tax, and that's why we have to, because it's all diminution. Down by the gift and now down by the tax, so 25%. Nil rate band is 325, and we've got a residential nil rate band which has been introduced of 175, and we will deal with that later. So let's have a look at an illustration of how all this is going to work. Ronald created a discretionary trust on the 1st of June 2023 and transferred £400,000 to the trustees who agreed to pay the tax. This is a standard kind of question. So it's a trust, therefore we know it's a CLT. That's the transfer of value. Now if the trustees are paying the tax, that's 20%. When you do your calculations with IHT, you need to keep going back to the question to make sure that you've got that right, because they will give you 2 alternatives, at least in a big question. So you need to make sure you've done that correctly. Okay, so do you remember when I said the pro forma must have what it is and the date that it took place. Then we put in the transfer of value. We do the current year annual exemption and then the previous year annual exemption. Okay, put them in that order and put the dates in. You'll get a mark, 2 marks for that. You're going to get half a mark for that and half a mark for copying that correctly. Now the nil rate band for 23-24 is 325,000. It is important that when you do this, you look back 7 years to see if there are any gross chargeable transfers in that 7 years that reduces that 325,000. Obviously from the question, there is nothing there. If there's nothing there, you assume that this is the very first gift. So the 325,000 is deducted from the chargeable amount, leaving us with a taxable amount. And don't forget these labels, very, very important. Lifetime tax at, you're going to get half a mark for saying it's that. You're going to get 1 mark for putting that in correctly and half a mark for dealing with that. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 marks. Now in any exam, if they're asking you to do the same thing several times, there's usually a reason. So just be aware of that. Now we need to calculate the gross chargeable transfer carried forward. Now in this exam question, the trustees are paying the tax at 20%. So the gross chargeable transfer is 444,000. If he had agreed to pay the tax and he'd paid the tax at 25% on that taxable amount, then the gross gift carried forward in case we need it on the date of his death, if it's within 7 years, is £148,750. That is very important. That's an extra half a mark for dealing with that. Obviously, half a mark you would get for that. So there's lots of easy marks to get with IHT. And it's a tax that you should, I would advise you to use this chapter very carefully, to go through it and make sure that you understand IHT very, very well and that you've practiced it. Because if it comes up in the exam, these examples that we're doing here are the sort of thing that you will have to do in the exam. And it's very possible you can pick up full marks on an IHT if you are confident with your work. So please give it some time and some attention. Okay, so we have here an example. 16th of July 2008, Betty created a discretionary trust. Okay, that makes it a CLT. Think as you're going along. Gave them £320,000 in cash, and she's paying the IHT 25%. Then she gave £120,000 to her son. That's a pet. And then on the 10th of September, she gave a further cash to the trustees. Now they paid the tax, so that's a CLT, and they are paying the tax. Assume she has no other transfers. Work out the IHT due on each transfer and the gross amount chargeable transfers carried forward. So what we're going to do essentially is that 3 times. All right, so let's have a look at the model answer. So the model answer. Now you notice we've put in whether it's a CLT or a pet, and we've had that information from the question. We've worked that out already. And you've noticed also that I have put the date and the tax year. Now I put that in because that helps making sure you get the correct annual exemptions. It's just another bit of a safety net for you. Transfer of value came from the question. We need to do annual exemptions. So we're going to do the CLT in 2008-9 first. But I have set the pro forma out, lots of space, lots of white space, all the details across the top. I now know I've got to do 3 of these. And then the transfer of value annual exemptions, nil rate bands down the left-hand side. and do them logically from left to right. So we have an annual exemption for the current year, and I put the date in. You'll get extra marks for that, 3,000, and the previous year, which brings the chargeable amount down to 314,000. Now, 2008-9, the nil rate band was 312,000, which leaves us with a taxable amount of 2 when we deduct it. We work out, go back to the question, who's paying the tax? 25% gives us that. So because they've paid the tax, this and this are added together, giving us a gross amount carried forward. Always do that. Always do that. You're going to get an extra half a mark every time you do. Okay. If you can do them side by side, that's fantastic. If you find that it's more difficult to do them side by side, then do each one individually. So the transfer on the 1st of August 2014 was 120,000. That's the current year annual exemption. That's the previous year annual exemption. Now, there is, if you see, no nil rate band because there is no tax due. It is a pet, and therefore there is no lifetime tax due because potentially it could be exempt. Again, I would have advised my client to have paid these the other way round, because that 6,000 would have been very valuable here. There are no annual exemptions to go against this chargeable lifetime transfer of 338,000. Put them in, don't ignore them, show that they're nil or right, used, whatever you want. Okay. The nil rate band is 325,000. Now, this gift took place on the 10th of September 2014. We need to go back 7 years to the 10th of September 2007 to see if there were any chargeable lifetime transfers in that period of time. And obviously there was. And you notice which figure we have used. We have used the gross chargeable transfer as the deduction, not the 314,000. So the 325,000 is reduced by the 314,500 of this CLT, which occurred within that 7-year period of time, leaving only a nil rate band of £10,500. So 327,500 is now taxable at 20% because the trustees are paying the tax. And therefore this, there is no addition to the tax, needs to be brought forward there. So let's go back to the notes.